Siko Solo, nasema Siko Solo. Nikitamka hilo jina la Yesu, karibu nami, karibu nami, karibu nami, karibu nami, karibu nami.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Siko Solo podcast. Yet again, another episode to bring you more info about mental health. You know what we are all about here, mental health awareness, and we want you to know that you are not alone. Yani hauko solo. Unaelewa yani unanipata? Yes. Kama kawaida ni mimi Manolo, and today we have an amazing, beautiful, hardworking, smart. Niongeze.
Imetosha.
Yeah. Lady with us, Monari leo amepeana sub. Sunajua amepeana sub, and today we have an amazing person. And before I introduce her, I let her introduce herself. Kama kawaida ni definition time. What is mental health? Ni nini tunaongelelea? And of course, you know, mental health is the state of your cognitive stroke, psychological, emotional or physical well-being. Yani wewe uko aje yani? Ni hiyo state yani. Uko vipi wewe kama mtu? Unaelewa? Yani unanifuata? Anyway, I'm so jolly today. I'm so happy and kidogo nervous, because I have someone who really walked with me in Abara time and Mimi when we started this journey of mental health and Siko Solo. She's one of the first people I told about Siko Solo, and she was so excited na alinipea psych sana with pushing this, and I'm super excited to have you. Wacha niache tu kuongea. Come on, let us know, who are you?
Wow, Manolo, I'm excited and I'm happy to see how far you have gone with your team. Keep up the good job. So my name is Nancy Kabiru. I am a psychologist, a mother, a wife, a girl who loves to have fun, and a mental health advocate champion. I work with Hisia psychology consultants.
Wow, nice. Unaona sasa ukitumia fees vizuri vile mambo inaenda. You understand now? Anyway, yeah, so we are happy to have you, Nancy. Thank you so much for coming. You know, it's been a long time coming. We've been saying that we need to have you, and when I think of having an expert on the show, you're the first person that comes to mind. And
thank you for the honor.
You know, today we have an interesting topic. Our topic today is called "It's Not Quacking." It's not quacking.
Oh, working, but now instead of working we say quacking. All right.
Because we came to realize, or in the short time that we've been around, we've seen that there are so many people in this mental health space who are just here for clout, or just here for you know, to identify with it, but they really don't know what they're doing or what they're saying. So you'll find a lot of people talking about you know, Juicy, actually I saw someone on their Instagram profile Omeka the name, what they do, and then hapo chini ameandika ADHD activist or something like that. And I went to look at their profile. It had nothing to do with ADHD. And I was like, okay. So there are a lot of people in this field wenye nimeona wanaweza ingia without any qualifications, without any solid information, na wapapot kukua experts in it. Unajua kasi sisi hapa Siko Solo, we are very open about it. We say we are two friends who came together and said, you know what, we are experts in other fields, but we decided to have this conversation, and we don't hide about that. Hatuna ati practice tumefungua sasa kujeni tusaidiane, we are psychologists. No, for us it's just to create the platform and to push more information and have the conversation. But also we went out to connect with the experts like Nancy. And I'm so happy that you're here, because who best to talk to us about this field professionally than someone who is in the field, but also someone who anakaanga, anasoma CV ya psychologist, anawahaya, wengine anawafaya. So talk to us about how you started. Just let us know, how did Hisia come up? Why Hisia?
All right. So one, I will go to the definition of the name Hisia. And it is a Swahili term which means feelings or intuition.
Ukorama feelings.
Yes, your ability to feel or your sense of intuition.
Yes.
Because nobody is exempt from going through any mental health disorder. We all have mental health.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But from time to time, depending on the circumstances and the challenges that you're faced with, you will then experience a mental health challenge. It can be as mild as depression or as mild as just anxiety, and ranging to the severity where you have a severe depression or where you have now severe anxiety and other psychological conditions. It can be rooted from your upbringing, or it can happen because of your day-to-day experience, inability to reconcile your ambition and your current state in life. So mental health can be affected by what you experience on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
So this is where the inspiration behind Hisia comes from.
Yeah.
Because we are in the wake of people realizing the importance of taking care of their mental health.
Yeah.
Initially, a lot of us would go to the gym, go to see a physician, a doctor, and that's it. But because we don't see our mind, we don't tell when there is a crack until someone is collecting papers, yeah? Or calling names, or they can't control their temper. Yes. Or they go through a panic disorder and they're admitted. That is when people will get diagnosed. And at that time, it would be a psychiatrical condition. These mental health issues, a majority of them are preventable. Majority are preventable. So we decided to set up Hisia so that we can help people before the conditions are psychiatrical. But we do not neglect people who need psychiatrical support because we are a collection of experts. So we have psychologists, we have psychiatrists, we have nutritionists, we have coaches, and we have a clinical hypnotherapist also as part of the team. So collectively, we are able to help individuals address the cases they may have challenges in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for how long has Hisia been there?
We are thanking God because we've celebrated our 3rd year since incorporation and practice.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
But as a passion, it has existed longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it what you wanted to do kutoka ukwe young, ama it's something you came and just picked up on the way?
Well, that's a good question, yeah?
Yeah.
Because for me, I was professionally trained in a different field.
Gani? Tuambie. Mbona unatuficha?
I'm not sifiti, lakini I was professionally trained in a different field. I have worked in the financial sector, and I have also worked in retail. I have run businesses and all that. So in the process of finding myself, I had a calling because I'm a Christian, and I wanted to find out what is my placement or service here on earth. Because yes, I've tried singing in high school. I've been an interpreter for my pastor in church. I have taught kids in Sunday school.
Wait, like anachapa na English?
I say it in Swahili, yes. So
can we try that here?
Not today.
Those years are behind you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have done all that. So I wanted to find out what is my purpose in the kingdom of God. And what comes easily for me is talking to people. And somehow, through talking, a lot of people come back to say, you know what you told me actually helped.
Yeah.
You know? So I thought, how about I go and get training as a psychologist? Because I did not want to be one of those church counselors. You know?
Oh, the church counselors as well.
I am talking from a Christian perspective. I did not want to be one of those church counselors because that would have limited my approach in terms of how much can I help an individual. They help those ones who don't have training. They help in first aid, but they cannot help thoroughly. You understand?
So there's mental health first aid.
Yes, there's mental health first aid.
Put a star there.
So that's why I went back to school to study psychology. And as I was studying psychology, I realized what psychology is okay. However, you need something else beyond psychological education. So I then took up a coaching training. And after the coaching training, because we are expected when you're going through school to have practiced, to have served a number of sessions. So I was offering free therapy to clients, and some of them were going through trauma. So you offer them therapeutic approach, which are very many, and then now you reach a point where you find someone is stuck, or when they're talking about an issue, they're experiencing body sensations. So how do you help someone go past that so that they can articulate what they have experienced or how they have perceived an experience? And that's when I did my hypnotherapy training.
Okay.
So all that to give a 360 approach. Yeah.
That's nice. So you're a psychologist, you're a coach?
Yes.
Hypnotherapist?
Yes. Clinical hypnotherapist.
Way.
Yeah.
I'm a musician from Nairobi, Kenya. And you're still adding.
Yeah, you don't stop learning.
Yeah.
Because this is an ever-evolving world.
Yeah.
And of course, when you look at the generational gaps,
Yes.
people don't communicate the same. So you cannot say you're stuck with the knowledge you got when you first qualified. You have to continuously. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, and just so we dive into that a little bit.
Yes.
How do you communicate, you know, all these things that you studied? How do you communicate that to a younger generation right now, or to a TikTok and whatnot? Because it's not the same way as and I'm sure even most of your lecturers were maybe older than you. So how they communicated it ni kuna kauza fulani. So how do you bring it down to maybe your daughters?
Now, when it comes to mental health, we say no one can be forced to access or to try and reach out for support. You have to be willing and you have to want to make the change or to achieve the goal you're looking for. So even for that TikToker, that curiosity or intention to change their life sets the base for you to know how to address it. Therapy has different approaches. You can have, just talk. You can have engagement in art or in play. So depending on their concentration span, you then know what to bring in for in therapy so that they can achieve maximum knowledge or output from that session.
Wow. Okay. And what are the study options for psychology? Kama mtazamaji hapa anataka kuwa psychologist.
Yes.
What are the study options here in Kenya?
There are so many. There are schools that are certified to offer psychological training, and they start from you can start from a certificate. You could have the passion, but you are limited, right? So you can start from a certificate level, or if you had the privilege, you can also start from a degree level. So depending on whatever entry level you want to start at, and you can go as far as doctorate, PhD and all that. So we are, as a country, we have enough schools and we have enough educators that give that. Then once you're qualified or you have you have graduated, then you have an opportunity to register with the regulating bodies. There are two main regulating bodies within the country that offer certification and do a background check to psychologists. So if you're practicing and you want to know, if you are looking for a therapist, you can go to those regulating bodies. There is KAPC and the next one was KCPA. You can go to their website and look up at the therapists who are registered with them. All right. Or if you have identified your therapist, you can as well ask them in the first engagement to provide you their registration number with those bodies. That way, you're certain the person you're dealing with has the qualification required.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That used to happen a while back, nikiwa Tao, when I was in town. And that time I used to carry some stuff with a pickup. And pickups are hot cake for Kanjo. So whenever they used to come to me, I used to tell them, let me see your ID. Wacha nione your registration. Nijue kwanza na deal na quack ama na deal na the real deal. So that's one of the ways you can spot a quack if they are not registered under the two.
If they are not registered, then they've not also invested in themselves. They could have the training, but if you're not registered with the regulating bodies, They are not investing in themselves. You have to go to someone who's taken themselves seriously in the professional career that they say that they are in.
Kama Nancy.
Yes.
All right. Nice. I'm getting to see now how you morphed into this journey and how you set yourself up. It's quite nice. It's something. I can say ulijituma. You challenged yourself. Ulijituma. You challenged yourself. You went out there and you wanted to do it the right way. And now you uko kwa hizo zote. And speaking kwa hizo vitu zote, for us here, you can help us differentiate. So and I remember that's a question. One of the questions I asked you when we met, I was like, so are you a doctor? Do I call you doctor? And you laughed. You're like, I'm not a doctor, but because you're a psychologist, you told me we have psychiatrists, you're a psychologist, we have now tumesikia clinical hypnotherapist, tumesikia coach. So hebu tusaidie kudifferentiate just some of the common ones zenye zisumbua tu kama psychologist, psychiatrist.
All right. So a psychologist can be called a doctor when they have achieved a doctorate. That is a PhD. So that is the time that I will accept the title of Dr. Nancy.
Kwa hivyo unasonga nayo tu, bado unaendelea.
Yes, I'm still pushing that.
We speak it into existence.
A lot of people confuse the term psychiatrist and psychologist. A psychiatrist is a trained medical practitioner on matters to do with mental health. So they will qualify mental disorders. All right. So if I have someone who has symptoms of schizophrenia and all that, I can assess them, but I will send them to the psychiatrist to ascertain that is the actual condition to bring in for in therapy, so that they can achieve maximum knowledge or output from that session.
Wow. Okay. And what are the study options for psychology? Kama mtazamaji hapa anataka kuwa psychologist.
Yes.
What are the study options here in Kenya?
There are so many. There are schools that are certified to offer psychological training, and they start from you can start from a certificate. You could have the passion, but you are limited, right? So you can start from a certificate level, or if you had the privilege, you can also start from a degree level. So depending on whatever entry level you want to start at, and you can go as far as doctorate, PhD and all that. So we are, as a country, we have enough schools and we have enough educators that give that. Then once you're qualified, or you have you have graduated, then you have an opportunity to register with the regulating bodies. Okay, there are two main regulating bodies within the country that offer certification and do a background check to psychologists. So if you're practicing and you want to know, if you are looking for a therapist, you can go to those regulating bodies. There is KAPC and the next one was KCPA. You can go to their website and look up at the therapists who are registered with them. All right. Or if you have identified your therapist, you can as well ask them in the first engagement to provide you their registration number with those bodies. That way, you're certain the person you're dealing with has the qualification required.
Wow. Okay. I know that used to happen a while back nikiwa Tao. When I was in town, and that time I used to carry some stuff with a pickup. And pickups are hot cake for Kanjo. So whenever they used to come to me, I used to tell them, let me see your ID. Wacha nione your registration. Nijue kwanza na deal na quack ama na deal na the real deal. So that's one of the ways you can spot a quack if they are not registered under the two.
If they are not registered, then they've not also invested in themselves. They could have the training, but if you're not registered with the regulating bodies, they are not investing in themselves. You have to go to someone who's taken themselves seriously in the professional career that they say that they are in.
Kama Nancy.
Yes.
All right. Nice. I'm getting to see now how you morphed into this journey and how you set yourself up. It's quite nice. It's something. I can say ulijituma. You challenged yourself. Ulijituma. You challenged yourself. You went out there and you wanted to do it the right way. And now you uko kwa hizo zote. And speaking kwa hizo vitu zote, for us here, you can help us differentiate. So and I remember that's a question, one of the questions I asked you when we met. I was like, so are you a doctor? Do I call you doctor? And you laughed. You're like, I'm not a doctor, but because you're a psychologist, you told me we have psychiatrists, you're psychologists, we have now tumesikia clinical hypnotherapist, tumesikia coach. So hebu tusaidie kudifferentiate just some of the common ones zenye zisumbua watu kama psychologist, psychiatrist.
All right. So a psychologist can be called a doctor when they have achieved a doctorate. That is a PhD. So that is the time that I will accept the title of Dr. Nancy.
Kwa hivyo unasonga nayo tu, bado unaendelea.
Yes, I'm still pushing that.
We speak it into existence.
A lot of people confuse the term psychiatrist and psychologist. A psychiatrist is a trained medical practitioner on matters to do with mental health. So they will qualify mental disorders. All right. So if I have someone who has symptoms of schizophrenia and all that, I can assess them, but I will send them to the psychiatrist to ascertain that that is the actual condition someone is going through. And they will then issue medication to help the biological process or the body to cope better, right? Then a psychologist is someone who is trained in the mental health field. So this would be someone who has the therapeutic approach, so the theoretical ones. Okay, and they have qualified. So that would be a psychologist. Therapy is the process that we give or we go through while we are offering this service. Because therapy is, I had written it somewhere, therapy is the service or the treatment intended to relieve or heal.
Service or treatment intended to relieve or heal.
Yes. Okay. So therapy is that process that is employed within the room you're
So
seated.
are you a therapist?
Yes, I am a therapist.
So a psychologist can be a therapist. All right, I get you.
And we can also say when you go to a massage, you find a massage therapist. Okay. So the word therapist can fit in different
fields and categories.
Yes.
Okay.
So we like to be very clear that we are psychological therapists. Okay. Not just a therapist.
Okay.
And then now a counselor. Because of the training on mental health, there are therapists or psychologists who are trained in counseling psychology. Right? And then there are those who are trained, they are psychologists, but they are clinical psychologists. So the one who is a counseling psychologist is the one we would probably refer to as a counselor. You cannot refer to the clinical psychologist as a counselor. But they fall psychologists, clinical psychologists. Now, the one you want to call a counselor would all offer therapeutic approach. Whereas a psychiatrist will offer a medical approach. The psychiatrists will assess you, hear you, but then they will not challenge you. They'll give you medication and tell you to come back when you feel
better.
Or you come back for a review.
When you feel,
yes, you come back when you feel better, or you come back for a review. You understand? However, when you're seeing a psychiatrist, you also require to have a psychologist working with you.
So you work hand in hand.
Hand in hand. We work together with psychiatrists, right? And I'd like to shock everyone, if you don't know, that every individual, whether you're functioning or you're going through a challenge, it is important for you to have at least 2 psychological assessments in a year. Okay? So if you care for your mental health, you need to see a psychologist who will then offer the assessment. Right? The assessment will help you to understand your strengths at that point. It will also help you to understand your perception at that point. It will also help open up your mind on the goals you're probably assuming or you should be chasing. It will help you understand whether you have unresolved issues. Okay? Or you're going through life well. This forms a good base for you to launch on when you're trying to set your own ambition. So an assessment is an important, and it should be a mandatory requirement for every individual. Yeah.
Okay, I see. I see. And a life coach. Life coach anafanya aje?
Now, a life coach helps you to move from the stage you're at to the stage of success. You know, when you say, I want to be somewhere in the next 3 years, do you understand the process it takes to get there? So a life coach would help you, and coaches, vary. They go according to the field of their passion. So they will help you to understand or, juggle your mind on what do you need to do first. Are you even clear on your goal? Is it realistic? Okay? So you will gain clarity, you will set realistic goals, and you will gain the process to go through that. And then they will hold you accountable because you've set the goals together. So they will be sort of like your accountability partner.
Okay. And I have to hand it to you. In using social media to reach out and create mental health awareness. Hey, Hisia, you guys, I have to give it to you.
All right.
You guys have done an amazing job.
Thank you.
I remember you do the lives on IG. You've really pushed as Hisia, even your branding, just how you guys look. You look very serious, and it's a good thing.
We are.
Yeah,
we are very serious.
Yeah, you just don't look the part. You act the part.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's very nice. In that respect, social media imeleta, there are a lot of people who wamekuja wanajita specialists. Kwanza katam Kenya anatumika sana mental health advocate. Ako. You'll find someone saying I'm a mental health advocate. In what they do, they rarely talk about mental health. They just want to identify with it. And I like the way you've told us that one way you can identify mtu hayuko serious is hata registration hayuko registered. They've not invested in themselves. And I see some of the things you put up in, for yourself to be serious, not to just look serious, but to be serious. And we appreciate that. But in that respect, what can you tell guys in terms of how to easily spot a fake?
Wow. Because I said no one is exempted to mental health disorders.
Yes.
There are those who get diagnoses and because of the stigma associated, right? When you're faced with a stress, you respond by either fighting or freezing or you take off, right? So then if you say you have gotten a diagnosis of ADHD, if your response to that stress is fighting, then you will want to put out word there that you know about ADHD because you have been diagnosed with it. So at this point, this person is talking about their personal journey, or that is what they are trying to put out and create a relationship with. It could be their platform to let out their strain, because we use social media for different things, and most of the time we package. So if you find someone has said they are an advocate but they have no content they have put on their media pages, is because they don't know what to put out. They're still going through that internal fight. And you can be an advocate for anything. You don't need to have any qualification. You can advocate for women rights, for men and all those things. You don't need any qualification. There are those who call themselves champions. There is training to be a mental health champion. Okay. For you to understand what are the simple definitions on mental health, what do you need to look out for? But you will not diagnose. You will provide a listening ear, and then you will send these people to the psychologist.
And where do you get this champion training?
There are different organizations, but this is not a paid promo. So I'd want to say, if you want to find out, feel free to reach out to me, and I provide those details to you for you to provide to your audience.
Nice. It's good that you've said feel free to reach out to me. Where can people reach you?
All right. So we have our office line, which is 0745 562 108. Or you can reach out on social media on IG, Twitter, LinkedIn as Hisia Psychology Consultant, or our website, which is www.hisia.co.ke.
www.hisia.co.ke.
Yes.
So we're going to come back with just a few things that we want to touch on with Nancy. But before we do, here's a message from our sponsors of the day. You know how you do. Keep it locked.
Blueberry Africa is a podcast production company located in 95 Riverside. Blueberry Africa started in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. We've since endeavored to make podcasting affordable and accessible. This is through strategic partnerships. We have partnered with a PR agency, so our clients get a good package for PR services. We also have introduced different packages where someone gets to book for the needs that they feel suit their podcast. The booking process is so simple. Just check out our website, www.blueberrystudio.africa. You can check out our rates. After checking out the rates, select a package which suits your needs. Then fill in the pop-up form or call 0725 108 407 and someone will be able to revert back to you.
And welcome back to our episode today on It's Not Quacking. And of course, mimi ni Manolo. Today I am joined here with Madam mwenyewe, Miss Nancy Kabiru.
Yes.
Yes, you say Kafi.
Kabiru.
Kabiru.
Yes.
Not Kabiru.
Kabiru.
But you always get Kabiru.
Yes.
Okay, don't worry. It's all right. Today, sisi tumejua tutakuita Mrs. Nancy Kabiru.
Yes.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so I'm here with the expert mwenyewe. Yani yeye ndio msemi. Yeye ndio kusema sasa. Leo tukona all our questions are being answered here today. So of course, if you have a question, you can leave it in the comment section. You can also send a voice note pale Anchor and we'll get it to Nancy and she'll answer it for you. Nancy works or is the founder of Hisia Psychological Consultants.
Yes.
And psychology consultants. And we're so happy to have you today on our episode.
Thank you, Manolo.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. And just before we left, you were telling us that anyone can be a mental health, you can advocate for anything, but being a mental health champion, you need some training just to get the definitions right. And you've said, tukitaka kujua wapi unaweza pata hii training, tukutafute zaidi.
Yes.
Na ukatupatia some of the channels where we can reach you, IG, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on your website, www.hisia.co.ke. Did I get that right?
Yes.
And Twitter as well. Yes. Yeah, na nakuona sana, hauachwi nyuma. You know, I realized a lot of people in this field, yani wamejizeesha, hawataki, wanasema, you'll never find me on TikTok talking about mental health. But I'm like, how are your children going to know these things? Jua wako huko kwa ma conference, wako huko TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's very commendable that you do that. It's ni kitu noma sana. Yeah, if you've not followed Hisia, go ahead and follow them right about now. If you've not followed Siko Solo, siwezi kusaidia. Nimefika mahali ambapo sasa kukusaidia pia nimeshindwa. Yes, but Hisia, you've told us you have a team. Yes. You're not just psychologists, but you have psychologists.
Psychiatrists.
You have psychiatrists on your team?
Yes, we do.
Wow,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
You have nutritionists. You have coaches.
Yeah.
This is nice. It's full house. Mtu akifika ni one stop shop.
Exactly.
And there are many ideas you've shared with me of air, which are yani ideas zako sijui unatoanga wapi. There are many nice ideas. Acha nisiziseme hapa, acha nisi preempt, but you have really good ideas in terms of where the direction of what you're doing should go, and how best you can pour out yourself to this passion, which is mental health and mental health matters as a whole. But as Hisia, apart from, I know you're doing some, utajisemea, let me just ask, as Hisia, what are you doing to educate the public and other people about mental health?
Right. So we have very good platforms on social media.
Yes.
Because you get anyone, all walks of life. There are those Facebook, the age that loves to engage on Facebook. So we'll create content that is good for them and that can educate them when it comes to mental health. We have all these other platforms, Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and TikTok. So we are always providing content. Another way that we get information out there is by conducting research. All right. And so when we are putting out a report, or when we are championing, because we have various programs such as the Mental Health Garage, which is a male-focused mental health space.
Wow, that's huge, because men and mental health is a whole other issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to come and say, hey, I'm having issues with masturbation, right? Forming relationships, managing a family, my finances, addiction issues, anything that can affect a man, we get to talk about it on that platform. So you can come anonymously, or if you don't fear, you can also come as yourself. So we create content based on that, or angled geared towards that. For the Mental Health Garage, because there are those who are still shy, we take in a small fee. We have a few people who give money so that we can offer psychological support to those who say, hey, I'm here, I'm struggling, but I don't know whether to invest financially, but I'm struggling. So we take small amounts, but they serve that purpose. Then we have the woman content, which is called the Unveiling the Queen.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes, because in every woman, there's a queen. So we help every woman bring out that queen within them. So we have contents and we have events and even high teas that we, cater. And I'm happy to say that a lot of women are happy to invest in their mental health. So they come in big numbers. We partner with people who do mental health championing, all right? Like Siko Solo and others. So we will always be available if you have an event and you require our expertise in what you have organized. So that serves as educating the public.
Thank you.
And we are also covered by various newspapers, media stations. We also do blogs and articles.
I saw kwanza the other day you posted mlijaza hapo page mzima.
Hatukujaza. I was not even in the country. Somebody seriously. This is when you do good.
You're being modest here.
No, when you do good comes your way. So it was just it's just God's grace that happened. So I was equally surprised. Yes, it was nice.
You were happy?
I was happy, and obviously it shows the impact that we have created in the society to even be able to command, media stations to take notice. Realize that they do very good background checks. So having that coverage was a great honor for us.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. Wow. Wow. Hisia, you're doing a lot. You're doing quite a lot.
Thank you.
And I'm just wrapping my head around it, and I'm thinking, all this from one person. She started with her passion, and now here you are.
Yeah.
It's really good, and it shows that consistency and just believing in yourself is huge. It's heavy. Maybe one day we'll have an episode here of Unveiling Nancy, just getting to know. But in that respect, what would you tell anyone here who wants to start their journey on being a part of the mental health journey and being a part of creating a better space in terms of mental health in this country? What would you tell them?
Well, there is opportunity for anyone to impact humanity in a positive manner, right? So do the right thing, get the right training, okay? After you've gotten the right training, then you will know where to start. Do not start before you have the training.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. We are happy to partner with you. We are happy to know people like you, because for us, of course, there are times we get questions, we get, hey, help me, and we don't know what to do. Because kama venye tumesema, sisi ni experts in other fields. We just passionate about this. And so, having, knowing someone who's gone through the channels and been there, is nice because you now come in with the know-how, the knowledge. A parting shot for our listeners today.
Right. So a lot of you ask, what does it entail to come in for therapy? All right. So I will give you the expert view and what you will gain as a person. So the first stage for you as a person coming in for therapy, we require you to be committed. All right. Be invested in yourself. The second thing will be you will understand the process of therapy. So the commitment will bring an understanding of the process. And the final stage would be where you start seeing the change coming in. And this cannot happen within a month or two. A lot of people jump to ask me, how many sessions do I need? I could tell you that you need 5, but those 5 sessions could take 5 months. So I could see you once every month. Or I could tell you need 12 sessions, and those 12 sessions will take 8 months. Why? Because I am invested in seeing you change. All right? For the therapist, they will begin by exploring because they don't know you. Therapy is an intimate relationship. I get to know a lot of things about you that you don't know about yourself, you're discovering, or you know and no one else knows. So it is an intimate journey that is confidential. A therapist will not go and talk about what you have experienced. And I think for us, the win has been the people who we handle don't get to hear who and what they have done or what their challenges are, because there are people who are also equally impacting the society in big ways, and we can't mention their names. So we keep that, and that has built our reputation. So for the therapists, they'll go through exploration to understand you. Then you will create an understanding. You will build trust, okay? After you've built trust, there'll be action, okay? So they'll give you assignments, they'll give you work to do, and they will ask and challenge you to see what your capacity is. And then finally, once you have had change, there will be termination from your end and from their end. At termination is when we stop having a relationship as your therapist or you as my client, all right? And you sort of like feel like you have graduated. So you don't come back for the same thing. All right. We expect that you will have made the changes, you will have been equipped and have had the capacity you require to move on with life. So if ever you come back, it will be for something else. That's my parting shot.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. Thank you for coming in today. Thank you for honoring our invite. We are happy to have you, and we can't wait to have you again already. Right. Thank you so much for just sharing what you know, and it's good to have you on our show today.
Thank you, Manolo.
Yes, there's so much value that you add. Do you guys have any pro bono sessions that you offer?
We give pro bono,
yeah.
However, on very limited slots.
Yes.
All right.
So
every therapist will give a pro bono every 6 months,
okay,
or 2 times in a year.
That's fine.
So if you find when we've exhausted our slots, we just can't stretch beyond that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good just to let our viewers know. Wanajua, see, we plug you in. We plug you guys to such things. Mali unaweza pata some of these services.
Yeah.
And so you can reach out to Hisia, psychology consultants. Yes. They also have nice. Hizi zinauzwa. Nataka moja. A healthy lifestyle breeds a healthy mind. Yeah.
We'll think about that.
You'll think about that? Yes. Ama pia mpatiane tu. No, but thank you so much, Hisia, for Nancy, for coming through. We're happy to partner with Hisia since day one. These guys have been there with us, and for us, there's so much I can say. Yeah. But kwa hayo, ningependa ku end this episode here. But we have a segment we've not done, and we're about to do it right now. And today naifanya na Nancy. Wacha tuone. Sijui kama nitawezana hapa na madam hypnotherapist. But it's game time. You know how we do. So before we even get to game time, you know where to reach us. You can listen to our podcast. You can stream. You already know all those details. But I'll see you next time. Thank you for being with us. This has been episode on It's Not Quacking and how to spot the fakes. And if you want to start out on this journey, what you can do, how you can start, the first thing to start. Na Nancy ametukumbusha sana, get the training then start. Usianze kwanza alafu uko mbele ndio unaanza kutafuta training. See you next time. Peace.